song.
That's how I'll start that video. And now here's the good ones.
Good songs coming at ya.
Pew pew pew.
Finger guns.
Zoop.
Right into the camera. Are you with me, viewer? Let's go.
So.
And then I poof into like a new position.
Why, hello there. Welcome to the top 10 best hit songs of 2021 video on the Torgo Entertainment channel. Torgo here. What's taking so long with this video? And I'm gonna lay all the blame out real quick. Me! I've mentioned this before, but I started making these best of and worst of lists all the way back in 2005, hence why I made that 2005 video a long time ago. But I never got around to making videos for them until 11 years later when I had the means to do so. The technology was there. And part of the reason I started making the videos in 2016 is because the DJing thing was really coming to a standstill. Once Trump got elected, a lot of businesses didn't really want to have my brand of stuff going on. I live in a very Republican area. I had recently gotten out of a relationship, so I had a lot more free time, so I channeled that energy into making videos online. However, come 5 years later, businesses are starting to pick up. We're finally starting to see that ray of sunshine after crossing Corona Mountain. And while I still have to deal with a ton of people who treat public health like it's the introduction to District 9.
You don't need that, man. Only sissies wear that. You don't need that.
Business is absolutely booming, but unfortunately, it really cuts into the time I can spend making these types of videos. I do YouTube for fun. Not only is it like a branch of my business, but I do it because I genuinely enjoy making videos. However, I decided a long time ago when I started this that my YouTube channel is going to remain free. There's no ads. I'm not going to get paid to do this, so I'm just going to do it because I want to. However, gig logs started rolling in. Couples really like the wedding footage that I provide for them, so that takes up a lot of time. I'm not single anymore, that takes up time, so I don't really have the resources available that I used to. So while I'm actually filming this March 27th, that was actually the first day I could sit down and talk to you about this, the actual top 10 lists were formulated back in January 3rd, whenever DJ Intelligence dropped those. We formed the best and worst list at the same time. That order has not changed. And looking at the list again, it still hasn't changed. I like the order, I'm very proud of this list. I hope there's some songs on here that you've not heard that you get introduced to. I think there might be a couple. But I thank you for your patience, and I'm really excited to give you, at long last, because the time has finally come, to count down the top 10 best hit songs of 2021.
And what comes next? Probably pigs in the sky if I had to guess.
And if you have a problem with when this list came out, let's just cast a spell on you right now.
Reflect this, Torgo!
Alright, we're gonna kick off this list with a curveball. It's the only country song on this list. It is by Ian Munsick, and it's called Long Haul.
I don't ever look back. No, you never gotta worry about things like that.
Yeah, this clearly never made the Hot 100, but I really like this song. It's my favorite country song of 2021, and I was very pleased to have it make the DJ Intelligence charts.
It probably doesn't fit in with it being on the best list. I was not aware country had discovered auto-tune yet. I learned something. Because that can't be just how we sound anymore.
He has this unique tone in his voice, and I can see how it's hit or miss, but I really enjoy it. It has this genuine, earthy quality to it. And I know it's got a little bit of a higher register, just the tones, it's a little treble heavy, but I just like the way it sounds. The instrumentation really backs him up well.
Girl, I'm in it for the long haul.
And the airiness in his voice really helps sell the airiness of the lyrics. This stuff is poetry.
Feel the river underneath our feet. We'll be drowning in a sagebrush sea.
You know, back in elementary school when you had to do sentence structure and they're always like, put more adjectives in, put more adverbs in. Well, this guy clearly got an A in that class back in Wyoming because he is just painting these portraits of landscapes and emotions. And you just get swept up and taken away into this sonic landscape.
I felt like this was very much in the vein of most modern country. It felt very natural, very modern. I could see this being a song, a first dance song, and a lot of wedding receptions for a newly married couple.
As somebody who actually drove? That's not a word. As somebody who actually drove through Wyoming briefly when I did my road trip back in November. I mean, it was dark, I couldn't see anything. I was only in Wyoming for 10 minutes. Thanks, US 212. But as someone who went through the northwestern United States, this definitely hits home for me. I really think that this brings me back to driving through 8 hours of Montana and northern Idaho before you get to the really racist parts. I find the expression of his emotions genuine. And how else can you describe it? In for the long haul.
What he's saying is just kind of usual, oh yeah, I'll be with you forever because I love you and whatnot. But the way he's saying it is certainly, there's more thought into it.
For good, I wanna be your man.
I'm not going anywhere. I am here for you, and let's get through this together. And I like it.
Very calm, very easygoing, very natural flowing. And it was very fun, very easy to listen to.
No, you never gotta worry about things like that.
And I also appreciate that it's a song called Long Haul and it doesn't have a single trucking reference in it.
I mean, especially with country music, like it's right there, you could totally do it.
I am genuinely surprised I didn't get more blowback for having WAP not make the best list. I mean, it's fine. I'm not the target market for it, and I think a lot of the reason why I don't enjoy it as much is simply because of overplay. Once this song came out, everybody was requesting it. There was a wedding I did in 2020 where they actually requested it 3 times. I only played it twice, but still, that's too much. And yes, I had put Freaky Friday on the best list back in 2018 because it made me laugh, and WAP did make me laugh. But Freaky Friday at least has really good production. WAP has terrible music behind it. It's 3 bass notes on loop. It's like every other Megan Thee Stallion song. I wanna like you, girl, but your music is not good. You would think with all the success she's having that Megan would have better beats behind her, but you know, you gotta support your crew, I guess. Megan came very close to making the top 10 proper. So what if we had the audacity of WAP, the pro-feminism slant, but we just have better music behind it, more energy? Well...
Is this up?
This is up.
Oh, yes!
If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. Up, then it's...
Yes! Oh, I'm so excited! You know why? Because it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's up. Like Ground Up Mountains in ballet. I don't care that's going in there. I'm gonna talk about it because that's what it's used for, is a lot of on TikTok, which is what I love about this.
Also, this is on the best list, by the way, Wayne, so I hope you're okay with that.
Well, I just don't like Cardi B's.
Is Up as satisfying to listen to as WAP? Probably not. But I'll take a higher energy rap song any day. Cardi has the bombast. I know there's controversy over whether or not Cardi B actually writes her own lines, but she has the delivery to back it up, so I don't really care when I listen to some of this. Besides, who doesn't love egregious alliteration? I find a lot of the commentary online for this actually talks about the video, and I really try not to let the video skew my slant on everything. And the video is great.
See, I love Cardi. She's very openly sexual, but she works that, and that's how it should be. Like, women are allowed to be open and sexual and wearing whatever they want when they're adults.
But the song itself, you know, it's fun. Again, I'm not the target market, that's why I only have it down at number 9. But it's a lot of fun, it goes off really well at gigs. And even though it might be a tiny bit racist,
Japanese, hit 'em with karate chop.
Japanese is a bar.
Tell that bitch back, breath smell like horse sex. Put it on her back.
Smell like horse sex?
Put it on my ass, cause I really like the pain.
think that's what she said.
That is exactly what she said.
If that nigga had a twin, I would let him
Why?
run the
Isn't
train.
that the best? Why is...
If that nigga had a twin, I would let him run the train.
Hey, freedom of choice, ladies, freedom of choice.
And it's got that bounce and that drive where I really enjoy listening to it. It's not one I change the station on. Although these song titles are getting shorter, we start with WAP, which is 3 letters, Up has 2. What's next, just P? I mean, we're pretty close to pushing P as it is.
No face, no case.
The song did not question the rightness or wrongness of horse sex.
I try to leave a room smelling like horse sex, man. You gotta believe in
Isn't
yourself,
that supposed to be
dog.
what a country song wants to do?
Horse sex, the new sentence.
Whiskey
Calvin
for
Klein.
my man, and sex for my horses.
That's right. See?
What?
The ultimate crossover.
Whiskey for my man.
Sex for my horses.
Yeah. Leave a room smelling like horse sex.
Cardi B's
And-
gonna release a country song next. I want to hear that. I would pay to hear that. I would pay to hear
not.
that. And I hate Cardi B, but I would pay at least $5 to hear a country
Kill
song.
it. She'd
from Cardi
kill it.
B.
It'd be great.
Honestly, I'm just glad I don't know what horse sex smells like.
Hay and cum.
Do I get to do Lizzo one too?
You do not get to do the Lizzo one.
No!
All the rumors are true, yeah. What you heard, that's true, yeah. I fuck him and you, yeah.
I'm normally hesitant about these types of songs because usually they're done by people who don't have the guts to back it up. But the fact that Lizzo and Cardi B are probably two of the most gutsiest performers out there, they are just basically tour de forces of nature, that they really kind of keep the song going.
Welcome back, Lizzo. Good to see you here again. So many rap songs and pop songs are about beef. Driver's License, Therefore I Am by Billie Eilish, whatever mess Lil Durk and Youngboy are going through. But what these songs miss is fun. They don't sound like they're enjoying themselves. They sound obligatory to have a comeback song. Lizzo comes out the gate to her critics and she sounds like she's having a blast. She really does not care what you think, and she sure sounds it.
Reading shit on the internet, my smoothie cleanser my diet. No, I ain't fuck Drake yet.
You know, this song reminds me of Michael Jackson's albums from the early 90s, Dangerous in History, where he was just so mad at the press and the tabloids coming after him constantly. And I love when artists are angry because that gives them that extra oomph to just go off in a song. Off, AWF. And that's what happens here with Lizzo and Cardi B. They go off.
Fake ass, fake booze, yeah. Made a million ass suits, yeah. Yeah, I be running with fake news, yeah.
This isn't quite as funny as Up is, but it's a lot more fun. That groove really pulls a lot of the weight here. And I don't know why they sampled the Ghostbusters theme, but it works. And the sample is hidden enough where it took me a couple tries to actually realize they were sampling the Ghostbusters theme. And I'm amazed it works, because I do not like the Ghostbusters theme.
I kind of want this to become like a Grammy moment where Lizzo and Cardi B perform this and then they do it with Stevie Wonder, because this song sounds so good. If you put Stevie on it, just shut it down. Let's bring in Stevie Nicks to just bring the whole rumors thing full circle. I have to go.
But yeah, both verses are really solid, good energy from both, good music. It's a lot of fun to listen to.
I love this is basically Lizzo telling us, hey, I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere, because she is too talented to lose to some trolls and assholes on the internet. Sheesh. Oh, that might be me too.
One of the big regrets list-wise from 2020 is I couldn't put Midnight Sky by Miley Cyrus on there. I wanted to. I was waiting. I waited for those lists to come out and I was like, oh, I hope it's big enough where it can scratch the bottom end of Billboard when I still use the Billboard lists. Didn't make Billboard, didn't make DJI. I had it at like 4 or 5 on the best list for 2020 because it's a great song. Miley finally found a sound that suits her voice. It's maturing just enough where it's got that rasp and that gravel behind it. So if she's gonna stick in this 80s lane, I'm all for it. And I'm all for her bringing along friends for the ride. Prisoner is one of those songs that you really can't talk about too much. It sounds really good. The commanding presence is there. Dua sounds great on the verse.
I try to replace it with city lights. I'll never escape it. I need the high.
See, I love this already because it's a great song to belt out if you're like mad at someone or you're trying to give up a guy. Like, love that feel of like a badass girl song. There's so many songs lately that I wanted when I was like mad at men. Like man, 18-year-old Rachel needed this song, I gotta say. And 25-year-old Rachel, 26, in that.
And yes, the melody in the verse is pretty standard. It's running up and down a minor scale. Do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. But it works! The simplistic melody works with all the 80s aesthetic.
It's been kind of that like
edgy 80s callback that's been going on. And you know, I think I'm here for it. I think it's cool. This is like a lot of fun.
And yeah, I don't let the video adjust my placements on anything.
I question their driving habits, you know, because it seems...
Is it because she's a woman?
No. No, it's because they're dancing and not driving at all. It's like Speed, but gone wrong.
So Speed. But it really does make me laugh that Miley's getting all down and dirty and grungy and blood on her face, and Dua's just walking out of here without a scratch on her. She still has to keep that glamour. I think it's something in her contract, because if you look at the Sweetest Pie video, which just came out a week ago or so, the only thing that Dua's got going is that image of like a spider crawling underneath her skin, but it doesn't really affect her face at all. She's like, nope, I am going to look like a model in everything I do. That's brand management.
But I love how they're both in the video the whole time next to each other. Like if you're gonna do a duet, that's the way to do it. Because so many times it's a duet, like it would be Miley the whole time and then Dua Lipa's in there a little bit, and it's the two of them the whole time. Love the ending! Yes, memory of all my exes, eat shit, yes. Yes.
This is one of those songs that's so good, it's boringly good.
Because, of course, the song that sounds like it was made 45 years ago is going to make this list automatically. What kind of a best list do you think this is?
You know, there's something charming about the fact that Bruno Mars has now gone basically a decade into his career doing nothing but be a nostalgia act. And usually nostalgia acts don't last that long, especially at the top of the charts. But the way Bruno manages to do it is basically just kind of by shapeshifting and going to different eras, like going from the 70s all the way up to like the early 90s, and always kind of trying to keep it fresh and relevant. And now he's bringing in someone with him, so it actually kind of works in a pleasing way. And I guess this is a message to anybody who is a nostalgia act band: change up your act a little bit. If you're a 60s retro group, throw some 90s in there, you know? They love the 60s.
How is this song getting blowback all of a sudden? Is it cool to diss on Bruno Mars lately? It happened when 24K Magic came out. Remember that? The whole cultural appropriation issue? It is hard to believe that he had a 4.5-year gap between 24K Magic coming out and Silk Sonic debuting with Leave the Door Open. I remember when this song came out in March, and it's really funny because they're not confident in the name enough. They always have to say Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak in the titles of all the YouTube videos. When I get the songs on promo only, it always says Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak are Silk Sonic. Like, you can't really tell. It's clearly Bruno. I understand Anderson not being as well known of a voice in the mainstream, but I'm glad that he gets a chance to shine here too, because both of them sound great.
As automatic as this song feels, it still had to earn it. And it's just straight facts that Bruno Mars sounds better whenever he's incorporating influences that are older than he is into his music. He definitely sounds better when he's not talking about bubble butts.
And that instrumentation is absolutely lush, especially on the bridge. It apes enough of that slow jam aesthetic where you have like a Barry White voice, talking over it on the radio. And it borrows enough elements from enough different songs where you can't really place where the influence comes from. It's just a really good R&B slow jam. That and Long Haul share the effect in that it knows that music has to speak for itself sometimes. The lyrics can be a bit of an afterthought, but if you don't have that bed of music underneath in order to carry everything, then you're just writing poetry. And that's especially true here because the lyrics kind of suck.
Smooth like a newborn, huh?
He's not Bob Dylan, okay? Like not everybody can be an excellent lyricist.
The one lyric that I can never forget in this song is the one that I keep mishearing. It's during the second verse, Anderson's going on. I know the lyric is, and if you're hungry girl, I got fillets, but I keep hearing If You're Hungry Girl, I got the Lays, like potato chips, and I feel like that's just cheesy enough of a double entendre where that's actually true. Then again, Uptown Funk has F-bombs throughout the bridge and people don't seem to notice that. It never gets edited on the radio. Lyric sites are always terrible anyway.
It's a Lay's tie-in, you know?
Okay, I thought I heard it as the Lays too.
That's how I've always heard it, is the Lays.
Both of them are great.
Yeah. That's what you gotta do to stay on top of music today, is you have to get those corporate
After
sponsorships.
smoking it up, you want some Lays. You don't want
I
some
don't
Lays.
listen to a lot of
You're not in a way
music,
to-
but this is one album that I was very avid to see released. I was excited for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole album is great. Well, 8 out of the 9 songs are great. Skate, I'm not a huge fan of. So of course they made that the second single.
You can rap on this song all you want for being Grammy bait. This was a song that was baited for Grammys so much that it literally debuted in a performance at the Grammys. And yet, is anyone even going to argue it sounded better than most of the best songs of 2020 that it was pitted against that night?
I think a lot of people, though, they write off pop as not having a depth of artistry.
Yeah, the Ramones were pop.
You see that, the video Old Enough with the Raconteurs featuring Ricky Skaggs and Ashley Monroe, and it's all folksy and everything. Like, there's all this like artistry, right? And you think, well, artistry's got to happen in like folksy songs or songs like that, but you can have that in any song. You can have it in any genre. People who really want to make good music.
I've been bumping slow jams.
Although I don't know if you can have it in like the genre of like cowpunk.
Either way, I'm glad people are finally gaining awareness of how talented Anderson .Paak is as a performer as well. I'm sure he's just glad Bruno made him famous enough he doesn't have to worry about being forced to appear on The Price is Right anymore.
There are times it's like you know anything about astrology?
A bit.
Yeah, me neither. But sometimes the stars come together.
And I don't know if this is going to be a one-off project or if they're going to keep working as an ensemble. But either way, I'm glad to see music from both of these people, and I'm glad that it's as good as it is.
Probably the most nostalgic thing about this song is the fact that it has a fade out. What kind of songs have fade outs anymore? They just end for the Spotify crowd or the TikTok crowd. But, sometimes it's appropriate for music to just kind of slowly come to a really nice repeatable rhythm, and they can just kind of slowly fade out into it, and that's it. You just kind of slowly just go along with the music, and then just kind of just goes away, and then you kind of just let your mind go and your thoughts go, and it just kind of just fades out.
Are you enjoying this format with me just kind of spitballing off the top? I hesitate because I really like the dichotomy of my portion, which is scripted, very tightly worded, very tightly controlled because I am editing all this stuff. And you juxtapose that with all the guest accounts, which are all improvised. And even though I have tons of improv experience, I feel like YouTube videos should have structure to some extent. I actually mention this now because I'm not gonna lie, the whole reason this song's at number 5 is because of a YouTube video.
Are you a fan of Ariana Grande by chance? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect.
I heard this song on the radio, and it's Ariana Grande. You don't listen to it too much, but then I heard this cover of it online.
Oh my god.
And it made me listen to it in a whole new light, and I actually kind of love it. The thing I never liked about Ariana Grande is she always seems to take herself a little too serious. Even her more playful songs like Side to Side, you can tell she's like, I know I'm hot. You know this is what this is. That's the whole thing with Doja Cat that I mentioned in the Worst List video. She knows what she's putting out there a little too much. Some self-awareness would be really good. But she's way too self-aware and it's not fun to watch. She just comes off like, this is the product I'm giving you and you're all gonna eat it up.
I just didn't have any feelings.
But with Positions, I feel like she actually strikes that balance perfectly with just being coy enough and just being playful enough, as opposed to her previous hits, which seemed like she's just putting it out there and knowing that we're gonna eat it up because we're stupid men. Or that 13-year-old boss bitch category where they have a lemonade stand and suddenly they think they own the world. But yeah, the chord structure is really interesting. I like the production where it's got those poppy strings in there and it has that accented arco portion at the end of swells in the verse to give it a little bit of contrast.
Okay, the music is cool, I will be honest.
You know that I don't understand chords very well.
This is true.
Like musically, yeah, it was very good.
Okay, that's valid. The music background of this is great. It's just hard for me to get away from that like very airy, almost falsetto sounding voice of hers. But like this part I like more when she drops it down.
I like that. That part was catchy. I was struggling to figure out what the fuck is she saying.
I'll be honest, the drop for the chorus I love.
And those vocal harmonies in the chorus are just phenomenal.
It's just hard for me to get past her voice. I just wish it was like, I don't know, someone who had a little bit of a deeper voice. Like Dua's voice, or like anyone who has just a deeper voice. Maybe it's I have a deep voice.
I think it might be my favorite song of hers. Thanks, the Do.
Wow.
My notes say 34 plus 35 equals 64. What was I even talking about?
Not quite like, look at me, I like to have sex with everybody, but like yeah, you know, we can do some stuff.
Shit,
you know.
this is a personal attack on me. I'm sitting right here.
Now with this song, I didn't think it stood a chance in making the year end for DJ Intelligence because it's a foreign language song.
I'd never heard it before. This is my first time listening to it. I'm pretty satisfied with what I got to hear.
That's that sound. Six Flags advertisement synth. Oh, no, that's actually just a trumpet.
But alas, here we are, and I'm happy it's here. The first time I heard Pepa, I was very impressed with it. It has that anthemic quality to it. It is an EDM song with Latin influence, and the two mesh so well together. Farruko is one of those names that you see just on the bottom half of the Hot 100. I believe he's on Crippy Kush. You see him every once in a while, but to see him come out the gate with this is just awesome.
The thing I like most about it is just how well it builds. You know, it starts off slow. And then as it slowly creeps up, then it all goes quiet and all you hear the drums.
And normally I hate when songs do the anthem part, you know, when they want the sing-along. But you can see the crowd, they drop out the music, the fists go up, they're having a great time. Buffering.
Buffer.
And then that drop is just very satisfying, and it's something I've missed from dance pop. Once it starts, it never really stops. The rap in the second verse is pretty good. I can see why this was a hit.
But I only have it at number 4 because...
See, you got that dueling trumpet and synthesizer part going on way too long.
Every 8 measures of Pepa is fantastic. It's like a little bubble of perfection. But then you gotta slap them all together, and admittedly, it's not nearly as good as the parts. Like that part right before the drop. Boom! And then that boom is really good. But that part beforehand, it's too much silence because it's coming right after the chant part. There's no music there. I feel like the drop should have happened right after the vocal chanting. Because then you can just imagine the crowd standing there and be like, where's the drop? Oh, okay, and then they rage.
Here, it's like there's certain songs, they sound better in a... where they should be played, you know? They're meant to be played with a dance floor.
Like I said, you really hope for cases where the sum is greater than the parts, and that's not true here, but when the parts are so good, it has to make the best list for me.
Oh, we're rolling. I'm sorry. Pardon me. I'm just looking at the music video. I have one word for that music video. Gay!
When I make these lists, sometimes I expect a little bit of blowback with some of my picks. On camera, I expressed reservations putting Pop Smoke on the worst list in 2020. But I really thought people weren't going to be happy with me because I wasn't a huge fan of Old Town Road. Maybe other people also thought that it was ridiculously overplayed, and it was. It was a neat little novelty when it came out in 2019. Then Billy Ray jumped on and suddenly it took off. The whole Billboard controversy thing. Knowing how well Lil Nas X plays the media like a fiddle whenever he does anything. Remember the shoes?
It's got a golden touch. Because he's also got the funniest fucking Twitter.
He could not have asked for a better promotion cycle.
It definitely seems like he doesn't take himself seriously.
Exactly. He's irreverent to everything, even
But
himself, which is
also,
good.
he just had a whole fucking video of pink-clad prison guards, like the most homosexual thing you'll see.
Right.
Yeah, so like he takes himself very seriously.
And he's still successful. Like, he doesn't dilute himself.
No, yeah.
For fame.
He's irreverent, but also like, you know, I don't know, very emotionally, it's cool.
I really do love how this is just a victory lap for where his career has gone. Bursting onto the scene with Old Town Road, winning Grammys, winning other multiple awards, and now he's back to show us who he really is as he tries to navigate through what can be a mean-spirited and vindictive industry.
And for this song, he just decided to make a really good one, and that was enough. Think about it. What controversy did Industry Baby have other than, look, nude men in a shower? Ooh. Any people that had a problem with this have clearly never been to a gym shower, because let me tell you what, there's a lot of nude men in the showers, but they're not nearly as young, typically. This is the song that convinced me that this guy was for real, because everything about this is great. In case you haven't noticed, I prefer rap songs for the most part that have the bombast behind them. If you're gonna do a flex anthem, sound like you're flexing. This guy has horn synths. He sounds like he's parading down the street.
I like that marching band.
Right, yeah. Like a modern version of Tusk.
Because that's the we need Lil Nas X on some Fleetwood Mac covers.
We should.
If that happened, the universe would collapse.
Yeah. Tusk featuring Lil Nas X.
Look at me. I'm Lil Nas X. I'm amazing, and you gotta deal with it. And again, this guy knows what he's doing. He's going after various influences. You cannot tell me Montero, which is also a good song. Montero sounds like something Madonna would have made in the 90s. Which is funny because with this song, Industry Baby, there's nothing really controversial about it. As a song, it just works. It's braggadocio. I'm great. This is for the champions, like me. And of course, he scoops up Jack Harlow for a fantastic guest verse, probably the best guest verse of the year.
My track record so clean, they couldn't wait to just bash me. I must be getting too flashy.
I like how for the music video they had one female corrections officer just for him.
Oh yeah, well because Jack Harlow is straight and has sex with females, and Lil Nas X is gay and he has sex with men.
Right. So he has to have
a very accommodating prison.
That's right, yes.
If I were to be sent to a prison, which honestly I will be, this would be a good prison.
I sent her back to her boyfriend with my handprint on her ass cheek. City talking, we taking notes.
It is weird hearing that ass cheeks is a line that still gets bleeped out in 2022 compared to some of the other stuff we've had, but whatever, I'll take it.
I didn't peak in high school, I'm still out here getting cuter. All these social networks and computers got these pussies walking around like they ain't loot.
And yes, Jack Harlow's a much better rapper than Lil Nas X, but Lil Nas X kind of teeters the line between rapper and singer anyway, like a lot of rappers these days. So his sense of melody is a really good counterpoint to Harlow's just flat out rapping. And both sound great on this beat. I think this one's gonna stick around for a while. I play it and it still goes off really well. Kids seem to really enjoy it, adults seem to enjoy it.
Being a gay man in that industry, in that music genre, is an extremely, extremely difficult thing to be. You know? And he's just owning it. You know, I mean, if you look at like back when Elton John was, you know, I mean, like, he's just like, fuck this. He's just, I'm gonna be who I am. I got a lot of respect for Lil Nas. You know how like rock has like stadium rock?
Yeah.
You know, it's like that, like, kind of like forward, bombastic, triumphant kind of feel. I like it.
It's got its laurels. Like, everything this dude touches goes fucking multi-diamond and shit.
I really hope for the best for Lil Nas X. I think we have a lot more to see when it comes to him, and I mean it when I say see.
And it's the most complete Lil Nas X song. I think it's easily his longest. I haven't looked at his entire discography, but this one comes closer to 4 minutes than anything else he's done. So I think he knows this is the complete song. Best song he's ever made so far. You wanna sit on the love seat, Phil?
I don't love you.
I can get off.
The love seat's for loving.
There's a seat for loving, yeah. For love.
Are you waking? I can't get that. I didn't get that.
This is an ad.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Soundbar Deal song.
Going on and on.
I don't care if this is on the best or worst list, I just hate this song.
Oh. I've never heard it before, so
Really?
let's...
I'm sure you'll probably like it.
Oh God, there she is again.
Oh no.
That's right, this is like McDonald's thing for me.
This woman now has owned Christmas. I think she actually bought it.
Mariah Carey is our Santa Claus, man.
Every year we have to offer a sacrifice to Mariah Carey and to lull her back to sleep for the next year, and it's playing All I Want for Christmas Is You.
It's like Jeepers Creepers, but it's set on a 1-year time frame instead of 23 years.
Exactly.
Well, this was a grower.
Perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one.
January 8th, 2021, Olivia Rodrigo released Driver's License to the public. 2 days prior, America had just finished one of its worst political days ever. People were feeling sad, frustrated, and scared, and we were all looking for something to latch on to together. And Olivia is what we chose. And you know what? I'm actually really happy about that. Olivia Rodrigo is a phenomenon because she's a polished Disney Channel actress, and usually when people of that archetype release music, it sounds as fake as can be, even though people eat it up anyway. But this is different.
At the beginning half of 2021, I still had Twitter, and I remember when this song first came out, and I had tweeted, "It's fine. I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it come prom season." I really didn't. I got a lot more use out of Good For You and Brutal when the actual high school events started hiring me again.
When Olivia released Driver's License into the world, it showed that she wasn't afraid to be genuine, to not agonize over every little lyric, to just let her feelings be known.
Yeah, they're definitely kind of song. Someone's got their earbuds in and they're sobbing into their teddy bear.
See, we've just lost all of our emotional, our empathic capabilities. See, that's what it is.
That happens when you hit 25, just, you know.
See, it
not a lot of
turns
feel
out
anymore.
she's not the jilted one, I'm the jilted one. I'm jilted with life.
What is jilted with life?
Just ground under by a lifetime of experience. I can't feel anymore. Damn
I mean, they
kids.
dated for probably 2 glorious months, and now she's feeling really terrible about it. It happens.
Yeah, I know how that happens.
That's right.
And it was that genuineness that caused Driver's License to be a hit.
And I didn't really understand all the circus about this song. I didn't get it. SNL was making fun of it. I'm like, is the bridge that good? Why are people connecting with this? It's about petty celebrity drama with some no-name Sabrina Carpenter and some guy that I don't know. Like, do people care about this?
And I just can't imagine how it could be so okay.
She's got a healthy belt in me once you wrote that song about me.
Then I found out she was on, what, High School Musical, the movie, the show, the game, the series, the complete DDR experience. I don't remember what it's called. And I was a little suspect about it. I hate the word sus, but I found it a little bit sus when this song debuted at #1. I'm like, who comes out with a debut single at #1? That just screams industry plant. Now granted, she did have a chart appearance previously with that High School Musical stuff in the 80s, I think. And don't get me wrong, Olivia Rodrigo was absolutely an industry plant. But she's a damn good one.
She's has that emotion, but she probably just isn't as good at
Doesn't quite know how to express it.
The three of us, we are I'm perhaps the opposite of the target audience.
That's right. We are. That's right.
That's true.
That's right. It's not relatable to us quite per se.
You don't know what it's like to be my age, Dad.
The lyrics of this song have been debated to death and are very far from perfect. I know we weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one, indeed. But the lyrics hit upon a sentiment that is actually relatively unique to popular music. Sometimes breakups are so tough that they make what should be big grand accomplishments and milestones in life not feel so grand. We all have different things we dream of when we get our driver's license. I got my driver's license this year at age 33 because I wanted more freedom and I thought I was finally ready to overcome my disability and get it. Olivia got hers because she wanted to spend more time with this boyfriend and she was ready for him to be proud of her. But then he left, and now all she has is the memories and the ability to drive alone past his street. Ouch.
This man hates the song.
The suburbs of Beverly Hills.
Beverly Foothills.
I don't care about the celebrity drama with this song whatsoever, but it tells a story, and the song has dynamics. It grows and it grows. You can tell Rodrigo's an actress because she is selling the hell out of this. And yes, she does it with the bridge. It has that F-bomb, which is like the emotional center of the whole song. And I feel like that should have been a little more unhinged, but that ending part where her voice cracks and breaks, oh, it's heartbreaking.
But I've never felt this way for no one.
The music of this song sells it too. It's no secret that sad songs in the vein of Billie Eilish are the in thing right now. But Olivia's got one big thing on Billie. Her voice has a dynamic range to it. She uses it so effectively in this song. Driver's License doesn't even have a chorus, really. It's just Olivia getting louder and quieter again and taking us on a journey with her. Those with attentive ears might notice that the song ends on an E minor 7 chord instead of the same G chord that has been used throughout the song.
You said forever, now I drive alone past your street.
And that hopeful note is something we all also need on January 8th, 2021.
This reminds me of Lorde, this little breakdown. You know? Lorde? L-O-R-D-E. Isn't she like New Zealand?
Jesus Christ our Savior?
Randy Marsh.
Yeah. Oh, Randy Marsh. I know Randy Marsh.
I am Lord. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. I kind of like this. I don't like it as in I would not listen to it because, you know, it's not so ready for me, but...
Yeah.
Someone's like feeling really hard about this.
Oh, sure. It's definitely
like you're listening to this and they're not studying for their test, and that's the thing. The youth are the future. Maybe this is good for the youth. And I'm only saying that because I was a very emotional teenager.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Olivia does next. But despite all the hype around Good For You, Deja Vu, and others, I still think Olivia's best work to date is her first.
If only someone told her that Drivers has an apostrophe in it.
Definitely a song that helped her break out, helped Olivia Rodrigo break out, and I can easily see why this is a top 10 song for us from 2021.
I'm telling you, man, like, you gotta be, like, I was a kid listening to the Smiths on my headphones and just feeling a whole bunch of ways as a youngster, so I can relate to that.
Except I think listening to the Smiths makes you jilted in terms of being empathetic to music like this.
Well, I mean, yeah, I like, but also, you know...
Morrissey does have a certain detachment.
Morrissey sucks, that's the thing. Morrissey fucking sucks. He sings like an old car horn, and he's a fucking... His whole vocal presentation is just an awooga. And he's also like a bit of a racist. So you know what? I'm glad people are making songs for fucking art students to cry to.
Did you see that thing where Nirvana was doing that yeah. concert? And like they were supposed to be doing all this pre-recorded everything. And then Kurt Cobain's like, screw you guys. And so he starts to sing it like... And he specifically said he was trying to imitate Morrissey the whole time. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. You did a good job.
Good. Like, people are going to listen to Olivia Rodrigo, and then they're going to listen to Kate Bush after that. Or like Joni Mitchell or something like that. It's I don't know. I think it's a pop music stepping stone to having a very emotionally fraught...
She's a gateway artist.
She's a gateway artist to a very emotionally.
You start with Olivia
lifestyle.
Rodrigo, and then you move to the heavier stuff.
I highly doubt you've heard this #1 song. I really do. It's not in English. It's not PayPal. That was number 4. You want to know a genre that I don't really talk about on this channel, that I'm a complete mark for? Mambo! And we're not talking Mambo number 5 by Lou Bega. We're talking actual Mambo. Tito Puente Mambo. 50s Mambo. 60s Mambo. Something about the sound of those pianos and the Latin rhythms and the percussion behind it. It just, oh, I love it, absolutely. Hell, Bare Naked Ladies, one of my favorite bands, had it on their debut album. It starts off box set. It's got that treble heavy keyboard line and just, woo, it's great. And it's to the point where, like, I picked up this. This is the Carmen Sandiego soundtrack CD from the early 90s. And it's great. It's got some rockapella stuff on there. But the 2 best songs on there, there's an a cappella song with the Persuasions on it that's amazing. But it has this song by Tito Puente called Amazing World. And it's one of my favorite Mambo songs of all time.
It's an amazing world we're living in. It's an amazing world we are living in.
Something about that instrumentation just works, and if you couple that with some strong lyricism and a really good breakup anthem, oh man, it is going to send me. And wouldn't you know it, on the DJ Intelligence list, we had one. And it's by people you've heard of before. It's just so good!
Alright, Daddy Yankee, look, you got Mark Anthony. You might have just won me over with this one, because this one right here, this one is a bop.
No te conocí. De vuelta, pa' la vuelta. Voy a amarrarla toda la carne suelta. De vuelta, pa' la vuelta.
I think people forget how good of a singer Mark Anthony is. When he's not trying to shill really poorly made clothes at Kohl's, he has just had hit after hit after hit after hit on the Latin charts. Dude has never gone away.
And what a really great kind of like, you know, because like I said, well, I've been thinking about Mark Anthony really, you know, for a while. I think this is a good sort of song to get him back in the minds of the people.
I know he was kind of a flash in the pan after Ricky Martin made it big in 98, 99. Like, Mark Anthony kind of snuck in there with I Need to Know, You Sang to Me. There's a couple other ones in there. But no, dude has been pumping out fantastic music. He's got the vocal chops, he's got the lyrics, and he's got Daddy Yankee in tow with him on this. I know it may be hard to tell what they're talking about, but if you actually translate it, and the translation works really well too. So if you don't know the lyrics, it's still a really good dance song. If you do know the lyrics, it is the best kiss-off anthem.
You see, this is one of those trap songs where you're like, ooh, yeah, get out on the floor and dance and you're moving and you're grooving, and then if you listen to the lyrics, you're like, whoa, what happened? I just want to know who hurt you guys. Like, my goodness, this is a harsh song. There's a line that translates in English to "your only flaw was being born." And I'm like, God damn! Like, take this one to the Arctic, because this is cold.
And it has the personality. Both of the men sound like they're having a great time. They truly sound jubilant that they're out of this terrible situation with this woman. And like Driver's License before, it has a structure. It takes you on a journey. You're listening to it at the beginning and you're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But once those bongos and conga hits happen, oh, you're in for a treat.
If I had a superpower, I'd want the power to summon Latin music horn stabs. Just to punctuate my daily life. I think that I would choose that over flight, invisibility, anything. This is the type of song that makes me wish I was a good dancer. Like, I really would like to do some moves, but I would look really dumb. I'd look like Chewbacca trying not to shit himself.
Like, this is Mambo number 6.
Mambo number 6 and then 5 Loco. That's all I need in life.
So yeah, I know it's not the popular pick, but I absolutely adore this song. De Vuelta pa la Vuelta is my #1 best song of 2021. I'm Torgo with Torgo Entertainment. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see if I have enough time to do this in 2022. Take care.
Yeah! I was worried. You were going to say it was bad. So I would have left. No, I wouldn't have, but...